stream. Let's do this. Oops, wrong button. Now we wait for people to get in. Yay. We are live. Good. Hello. Hello to everyone. Hello to everyone. Hi. Okay, that's weird. Hello. Hi to everyone. Hello. I'm a little bit tired tonight. But we're gonna play a game that's sort of long requested. People have been asking me to play a SpongeBob game, but not this SpongeBob game, the other one. But this is the SpongeBob game that's the easiest for me to emulate, so we're gonna play this one. This one I played as a kid. It's SpongeBob SquarePants SuperSponge. If I'm not mistaken, it's the very first SpongeBob video game ever made. Okay, the plot's not important. I don't think we care about the plot. This is a simultaneous, I think, Game Boy Advance game. The PS1 version does seem to have all the voice actors, though. Although that was a very weird Gary. Yeah, this game was released simultaneously with a portable system, I believe the Game Boy Advance. So its sprite quality is not exactly the greatest. This is the PlayStation version. I grew up with this as a kid for some reason, and I even played it on the Gameplay channel once. Whenever you have no spatulas, you get this annoying beeping sound that I hope you guys can't hear. The game console's audio is quite low. Okay, yeah, sure. I haven't gotten back to my gym partner's a monkey yet, so I can't properly judge it. So this game has the Sonic hit system. As long as you have the spatulas, you can't die. And if you do get hit, you lose them all, and you gotta run around and collect them. That makes it insanely easy to just plow through the game. I own quite a few systems, but the PC is the only one that really matters because I can pretty much emulate everything else. I have not seen the Plankton movie yet. My computer can handle Dolphin, I know that much. It's just OBS doesn't want to record it unless I record my whole screen, and I can't play the chat and OBS at the same time if I'm doing that. I try not to link the gameplay channel, or I haven't linked it in forever because I haven't done anything with it in forever. I Am Weasel is the most 5 out of 10 thing that I've ever seen. I haven't gotten to Cow and Chicken yet. So it's a fun fact, this is not a very good game. So we're going to be playing a not very good game along the way today. Robot Jones is boring, and I haven't gotten to Uncle Grandpa yet. Like, the problem with this is the sound design. It is horrible. Well, no, it's not a Sonic clone. It just has Sonic's hip thing. SpongeBob clearly doesn't move like Sonic. Thoughts on Ozzy and Trix? I love Ozzy and Trix. I did a 4 cartoons combined review special sometime last year, I think. You can watch that if you want to know my full thoughts on Ozzy and Trix. Okay, we gotta get the sea nut butter. Oh yeah, they put this stupidly annoying level like towards the beginning. It's kind of like a water level, except the opposite, because you lose water unless you wait in these pools. They could even give SpongeBob here a helmet graphic. This isn't the GBA. It looks like the GBA. It's not the GBA. It's still the PlayStation version, which is why it has voice acting. Okay, these were always annoying. Pants are the extra lives. You don't really need them in a game like this. Although we are losing... This part here can be, like, really touchy. Go, 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 go. I don't think SpongeBob loses water this quickly in the actual show. Just putting it out there. The water to helmet is usually on and done. See, that one works fine. Then there's this one that doesn't want to do anything. Let me up. There we go. And that one works fine. The second one wanted to be different for no reason. I remember liking the Mad cartoon show. It's not on CN Real, so it will be a while before I can give it a full look. The butterflies are just annoying background decoration because it looks like they should be able to do something because they're so prominent. Yeah, I have the GameCube ROM version, but recording GameCube games is really annoying. Why do I hate Mixels? I'll tell you why. It's the same reason I hate YouTube Brain Rot. It is a detriment to society as a whole. I do hate this game. I mean, I guess it's not the worst game in the world. It's definitely not the worst game I've ever played. It's just not very good. Damage doesn't matter when you can just infinitely recollect your things. I'll probably figure out how to get PS2 emulation working at some point. Mixels is like YouTube Kids. Exactly like YouTube Kids, except it's directly trying to sell you a toy. The only reason it's not at the bottom of the list is because you're probably not going to get a seizure from it. Hello, thank you for the membership. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I have memberships now enabled. I'm still trying to figure out how they work, though. Right now I'm watching Foster's for CN Real. I hate how... Like, it's fine if you want to start me off with 0 spatulas. That, I don't care. Stop beeping when I have 0 spatulas. Yeah, like I said, it's probably the worst SpongeBob game. Then again, I'm not an expert on SpongeBob video games. You'd probably have to look at Shadow Streak's channel for that. There are some 3D effects that you don't get in the Game Boy version. Like, this is clearly... Like, the ground is clearly 3D, using some 3D effects. Thank you, ATM. And there's probably some Flash games that are definitely worse. Like, I do believe there's bonuses if you get, like, all of the spatulas in a level, but that would mean getting through the level without getting hit, which takes more patience than I have at the moment. But I do remember 100%ing this game as a kid. I do not hate Steven Universe, no. As long as you have one spatula, you're fine. I'm at the end of Season 2. Last episode was Goodbye to Nerdy. I don't know the exact title. And as we know about the hooks, you don't ride them all the way up. Ah. Ah! Mr. Krabs never told me about this part. Oh yeah, you can toss jellyfish. I don't do it because it's useless. SpongeBob has a perfectly good ground pound. I have not watched Invincible, no. I will not be doing extra videos on Courage or Class of 3000. The videos that I made on them already are basically their See and Real episodes, and they'll be added to the playlist. I might even do it for Out of Jimmy's Head, even though that one is different. It's not exactly a See and Real type video. I have not seen Wallace and Gromit. The Bye Bye Nerdy episode of Foster's Home is fantastic. There we go. I'll probably do Battle for Bikini Bottom at some point. Do you hate Robot Jones? I don't care enough about Robot Jones to hate it. What do you mean besides Blue? You're acting like I hate Blue as a character. That's going to be a fun discussion. Honestly, going through Foster's Home, I don't hate Blue at all. I mean, sometimes there are bad moments with him, but he does bad things, but like he's supposed to be that way. You know, hating Blue for being a jerk is kind of like hating Eddie from Ed, Edd n Eddy for being a jerk. Thank you for the donation. Have you seen Wicked 2024? It's a 1939 prequel. No, I haven't. What kind of sound for game over is that? Okay, there we go. Season 1 of Foster's Home is perfect. It doesn't have a single bad episode. Closest I came to not liking was the Barry Scary episode, because I don't like Barry. Like, so much of this game just becomes visual nonsense. I did add Robotomy to See Unreal. It's on the list. I already watched it and wrote the script. These yellow squids are annoying. Platformers are not the best thing to do while streaming. I don't know how other people do it. They like home in on you. Okay, so these guys like gravitate to you if they see you, like that. Just honestly, the biggest problem with Foster's is how inconsistent the Blue is. Some episodes, he actually does care about those around him. In other episodes, he's just an asshole. And it's, like, completely random what you get. Got it. Got it. Okay, that was an annoyingly stupid part of the level. I am doing okay. Yay! I don't know if I care enough about Blue to make a video defending him. You know, I really don't like this game. Am I back here? Or is this a new checkpoint? Go, 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 go. Just go. Yay, I got the extra life. Worst case scenario, you just got a damage boost all the way through. I do not hate Nickelodeon. What do you think of Meet the Robinsons? Kind of what I thought when I reviewed it all those years ago. My thoughts haven't really changed. How do I haven't seen too many of Season 15. Thank you for the donation. The movie game is better than Battle for Bikini Bottom. I am not an expert, so... yes, throw jellyfish, okay. Gotta get the jellyfish first. Alright. Okay, yeah, that did damage. Thank you for the donation. As of earlier this month, it's been officially 10 years since I started watching your channel. Yay! Oh no, I'm out of spatulas. Is there any more? No, there's no more. My favorite voice actor is probably Tom Kenny. I gotta get more jellyfish. Where do they all go? Where do they all go? There they are. I'll probably see the Minecraft movie when it comes out. I hear like things get like really crazy in the theater for no reason. And that doesn't sound like a pleasant experience. Gotcha. Why didn't that kill it? I played Breaking the Rules for like 2 hours. It's one of the most average games out there that I've ever played. Get all the things. Get all the things. Ow. Wait. I don't have to kill the boss. I just got the bread. Robotomy is a bad show by inception. It was like this weird period in Cartoon Network where they were trying to combine their adult cartoons and their not adult cartoons. So they were making Adult Swim type cartoons for kids. That's also how Secret Mountain Fort Awesome and Problem Solvers came along. And it just didn't work. They don't really go together. Robotomy couldn't go as far as it wanted to do, so it ended up in just this horrible dead zone with nothing good going on. I mean, Danvers is a little bit different. Adult Swim shows are more than just being, quote-unquote, more mature. They're experimental and weird. Dexter's Lab Season 3 and 4 are worse. Oh, no. Okay. So, collect the coral. That is not Clancy Brown. What? Why isn't it working? You know, I think we might all have a better time if I play something else. Just putting that out there. This, this is not what. This is not fun. Yes. Da da da. I will go to the video games and play something better. Something that I could play without going insane. Playing a non-emulated game, I'd have to get a whole different setup. Like, I do prep work before these things. Not as much as I should. But, was that game too painful? Yeah. I thought it'd be, like, funny. I mean, it's a game that I actually have beat before. And I played it a lot as a kid. I have, like, truth be told, that is the only SpongeBob game I played, ignoring, like, weird Flash games and stuff. Do I have any plans to return to Little Casey? No, I'm working on more creative projects these days. Stuff I'm a little bit more excited about, and not something that I wrote to deal with trauma. What are you talking about? This is clearly a SpongeBob game. Dexter, like, I might have to do a separate video on just seasons 3 and 4 of Dexter's Lab to explain and articulate how bad it really is. I can't overstate how horrendous that Dexter's Lab seasonal rot era is. Like, you might think I'm exaggerating, and, you know, like, let me put it this way. Season 6 and 7 of SpongeBob is better than seasons 3 and 4 of Dexter's Lab. No, this is totally SpongeBob. Spyro is yellow. Can't you see? Wait, there are color changing codes. Is there one that turns Spyro yellow? That'd be hilarious. What's the least favorite episode of Dexter's Lab? Chicken Scratch, without a doubt. Oh my god, that one is horrendous and a half. And they played it at the start of the Powerpuff Girls movie for no reason. Do you like the Powerpuff Girls movie? I don't hate it. It's just kind of pointless. It's overly long. It's not paced very well. And it shouldn't have been an origin story. Like, we've got the origin story of the Powerpuff Girls during the show. And, I mean, if you want to do that as a TV movie, that's fine. But cinematic movies based on cartoons are and were a rarity. Largely because of that movie. The sky is green. Do you see what Spyro's facing at right now? That sky is clearly green. I don't think I've gotten to regular show the movie. A favorite episode of season 2, Foster's Home, is definitely Goodbye Nerdy. Although the cookie dough one is for some reason one of the most memorable episodes of Foster's, and I have no idea why. No, I don't want to play again. I don't want to play again. Dexter's Lab seasons 3 or 4. Okay, that's definitely on the docket for after Glenn Martin is done. I want to articulately explain how bad season 3 and 4 of Dexter's Lab is, because no one seems to believe me. Like, on the list, it is in the bottom 5, and I don't see it getting out of the bottom 5 in all of them. Like, a lot of shows have ups and downs and seasonal rot eras. I know that Foster's Home Season 3 has a lot of problems. I don't separate the rankings for any show except Dexter's Lab. That does make sense, Shady. Yeah, I know that season 3 has quite a few bad episodes of Foster's. Like the one where they don't go to Europe. Altogether, Dexter's Lab, if I had to rank everything all at once, it comes out as about like 3 out of 5 stars, I'd say. The good stuff is probably more good than the bad stuff is bad, but the bad stuff is just so patience trying. Like, see it for yourself if you want to know what I'm going on about. Which is worse, Robotomy or the Problem Solvers? Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to exaggerate or hide. Problem Solvers is the worst. Like, I don't see any other show that I still have to do going worse than that. Like, the only show that I know is going to be, like, bottom of the barrel that might compete is Powerpuff Girls 2016. I haven't gone through that yet because I really, really don't want to. But I doubt that's going to be worse than Problem Solvers. Technically speaking, sure, Problem Solvers has never been linked to an actual seizure, but the colors and the way it's animated could do something to someone with photosensitive epilepsy. At the very least, it's careless. Like it's something that networks and corporations usually don't want to take a chance on, because, sure, say it can't give anyone a seizure. Do you really want to take that risk? Have you played the Cosmic Shake? No. Secret Mountain Fort Awesome is, like, unironically better than the Problem Solvers. I suppose that's going to be a funny thing. I didn't hate Secret Mountain Fort Awesome as much as I expected to. Like, people were telling me that it's just Problem Solvers except without the seizures. But there is a little bit more to that. I want to be clear, I still don't like that show at all. But there was a little bit more to it than just reprehensible. I remember the Rugrats movies being good when I watched them as a kid, but I probably don't think they hold up good as an adult. I know that people hate the crossover with Wild Thornberrys. Haven't gotten to Uncle Grandpa yet, because that's probably one of the last ones I'm going to be watching. Not because I'm afraid I'm going to hate it, it's because it's 150 episodes for no reason. The Goofy movie is, like, one of my favorite animated films of all time. The Goof Troop cartoon is okay. Did you watch Invincible? Nah. Usually not too into superhero stuff. Okay, so there's a red one missing. Who cares? Thoughts on an extremely goofy movie? I haven't seen that one since I was a kid. No. Like, if I predict everything all together, Dexter's Lab Season 3 and 4 will probably be, like, at number 5. Mixel's is worse, just on concept alone. Powerpuff Girls 2016 is also worse. That's at least off the top of my head. Yeah, SpongeBob's got a bad rash. Town and Out is a Powerpuff Girls episode that is very confused. Like, it wanted to be a deconstruction of the Powerpuff Girls premise, but there really was no reason to do that. Let's see. Bottom 10 shows so far. Well, we already know a few of them. Problem Solvers, Mixels, Powerpuff Girls 2016. I haven't gone through it yet, but I know it's going to be at the bottom. Honestly, Secret Saturdays is probably going to be quite low on my list. But to tell you why, I'd actually have to spoil it. Will you make a video at the Loud House's downfall? I don't have time for the Loud House this year, unfortunately. Yeah, well, there are probably some people who do care, and I'm not just going to drop it in the middle of his stream. I learned my lesson about random spoilers a long time ago. Secret Saturdays does not hold up. Actually, that's a wrong way of phrasing. I don't think it would have been good even if I watched it when it came out. The premise of Secret Saturdays is very confused. The pacing is terrible. The plot twists are nonsensical. And I don't like the characters. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a divisive one. I know that people like it. It is a cult classic, so I do got to be careful. I abandoned the old category atrocity scale because it was too one-dimensional. Favorite Foster's Home character is probably Frankie. I think that's the common answer. But early on, the only character, or the only mainstay character that comes close to annoying me is probably Harriman. He's a little bit too strict. Craig of the Creek's biggest strength is its everything. Like, that's another thing I just can't say off the cuff. No, I wouldn't call Blue my favorite character. I just like him in general. Like, he's the right way to do an asshole character. Like, sometimes he does go too far, and I'm not going to argue that. There are plenty of bad episodes of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Everyone Knows It's Bendy is the one I reviewed. It's still awful. I don't even know if that's the worst episode of Season 2. I'd say Craig of the Creek has good everything. Like, I don't think there's a single thing I disliked about Craig of the Creek except for Roger. Roger is the only bad thing about Craig of the Creek. 2009 is the worst year of television animation in my lifetime. I don't know about altogether because the 70s in general were pretty damn bad. Hey, go up, go up. Kelsey is definitely up there as one of the best. I really like the villain. I like plenty of the spoiler characters. Like, who isn't my favorite character? That's the question. And once again, the answer is Roger. 1980 was, yeah, that was still bad in animation. The 70s animation didn't end when the 70s did. It took until, like, DuckTales for us to get out of the Dark Age. My favorite Spyro level is Charmed Ridge from the third game. Would you do a worse cartoons of the 70s? No. Because the 70s cartoons are just... The problem is that none of them really elicit outright angriness, and so many of them are just copy-paste. Like, half of all of the cartoons from the 1970s are some variation of Scooby-Doo. That's not even an exaggeration. Like, Jabberjaw is probably one you've heard of. It's the one with the shark. It's Scooby-Doo, except with the shark. Hello. I mean, yeah, Camp Lazlo is worse than Rocco's Modern Life. I don't think even people who like the show would argue that Rocco is worse. Do you have a favorite SpongeBob character? That's a good question. If we're talking about character potential, I think it'd be Mr. Krabs, actually. If we're talking about how they're realized, it's Plankton, because Plankton has the fewest bad episodes, the fewest bad appearances. They do exist. But he doesn't get the Squidward treatment. Have you gotten around to Clarence? No. My plan is, after I'm done with Foster's, I'm gonna hit the big ones remaining. So that's Adventure Time, Regular Show, and the remaining Ben 10 series. Then it would be Clarence. Although at some point I'll probably feel burnt out and take a random digression with, like, Elliot from Earth or something. A moment from Steven Universe Future that pissed you off the moment. When Garnet decided that it would be a good idea to tell the teenager Steven to propose to Connie. And that someone somewhere in the show thought it would be a good idea. I have seen Long Live the Royals. It was pretty good. Ruby and Sapphire, sure. It doesn't matter who did it. The fact is, it was done at all. The biggest problems with Steven Universe Future is what doesn't happen. But another good moment or another terrible moment that made me hate the show is when Greg thought it would be a good idea to break and enter a house. Like, Steven Universe Future has the characters just making these stupid, horrendous choices for practically no reason. I unfortunately have to keep the prices low and affordable doing CN Real. I have not seen the new SpongeBob movie. That's planned for after the Glenn Martin stuff is done with. I mean, yeah, it was his parents' house. You can't just break and enter family houses either. That doesn't make it okay. Also, my favorite part about Steven Universe Future is that every episode figures that something is wrong with Steven. Like, the episode where he's having dreams and Peridot is seeing the dreams, then the episodes just end, and it's never followed up on. Peridot never comments on it for the rest of the series, and this happens constantly throughout it. Like, no, I don't think it's the point. Because the characters do comment on what's going on with Steven. Like, they repeatedly realize that something is going on. And then the episode just ends and it's like the conversation never happened at all. Oh yeah, this is beautiful music. We Bear Bears I haven't gotten to yet. I think Ed, Ed, and Eddie might be more consistent than Gumball, but Gumball has better hires. Better highs. Higher highs. No, Two Stupid Dogs is not on Seeing Real. I think that was before the Cartoon Network Studios, existed. I know of Robot Chicken, but I am not a Robot Chicken guy. Thoughts on Generator Rex and Symbionic Titan? I have not gotten to them yet, but I was going to tackle them right after Secret Saturdays, but that one kind of burnt me out hard, and so I needed to watch something that I actually knew that I'd enjoy, so that's why I did Foster's next. Why do you hate the Kanker Sisters? 'Cause they are a perfect example of a diabolus ex machina. I don't like Secret Saturdays. I was bored of it at first, and then a bunch of shit started happening, and like I mean like literal shit, and the plot got nonsensical. And it ended with some of the stupidest twists I have ever seen. No, I haven't seen Fungies. That's one of the last ones I'm going to be watching because it's one of the last ones up. How long is Generator Rex? I think it's a 2-season show. The secret show is a secret to me. The show, the most prominent use of the Kanker Sisters is that the Eds are about to get something, but the writers don't know how to make them lose, so the Kankers come out of nowhere and God mode them to losing. That was a constant problem at Ed, Ed, and Eddie Season 1. It got less problem as the show went on, but it was still kind of always there. I don't know if I'd say that nothing happens in Steven Universe Future. Thoughts on Roadside Attraction from Gravity Falls? That is my least favorite episode of Gravity Falls. Gravy Falls, yes. He's right here. You know, Tom Kenny voices Spyro, except not in this game. Thus, I'm playing a Spyro game. Or the SpongeBob game. I wouldn't say Ed and Eddie had a rough start. I'd say it had a... I don't know about rough start. Gumball had a rough start. Do you like how Jasper is in the future? No. I mean, yeah, actually, yes, I do. Although... the ins and outs of the decisions of Steven Universe Future are a huge discussion. Would you call Roadside Attraction a bad episode? Probably. Yes, I have finished the original Ben 10. I still don't exactly know how that became the mega smash hit for Cartoon Network. I think it has good action and good fight scenes. The stories are kind of simplistic. Like, the episode I point to is where they're fighting fungus mushroom people, and Ben doesn't think to use the fungus powder until the end of the episode. Like, I get that he's stupid, but he's not that stupid. A lot of the storytelling can be kind of on that level. The worst Season 1 Gumball episode. Most people would probably pick the dress for that one. Were there any good parts of Out of Jimmy's Head? No. That certainly makes sense. I dislike Roadside Attraction for existing at all. Like, when I watched through Gravity Falls for the video earlier this year, like, I realized that the show, like, did nothing with Pacifica after Northwest Side Attraction, or Northwest Mansion Mystery. Like, she drops out of the plot completely into the end. And I think if they didn't waste an episode on a pointless filler whatever, they could have actually solidified a few loose ends. Yeah, Ben 10 definitely does have a cool concept. I do like that. Thoughts on Mighty Magiswords yet? Nothing except I don't want to watch it. Like, before the controversy, that show didn't look like my thing to begin with. Are there stuff in older kids' television that you wish modern shows would return to or do better? Honestly, I really wish that more modern shows would just decide to be completely episodic. Like, you could just jump in randomly in episode, or season 3, episode 50, and not miss anything at all. Like, every show feels like it needs to have an arc, callbacks, and so on, build on continuity. And I definitely don't hate shows for doing that, I just wish there were alternatives to that. Ben 10 looked like a Pokemon knockoff. It's definitely not a Pokemon knockoff. Pokemon and Ben 10 have very little to do with each other. Do you like the body swap episode of Ben 10? I will say the Ben 10 body swap episode is going to be one of the most memorable ones. I've complained how body swaps don't swap the voices a lot. Like when Dipper and Mabel swap bodies, they also swap voices. So you'll hear Dipper's voice coming out of Mabel's mouth. Ben 10 does that too, but it doesn't do that. So you have the same episode where one character swaps voices and another character doesn't. And it's just one of the most bonkers things that I have seen. It was really, it took me by surprise. Is the SpongeBob trademark story really a hoax? There's a video on that. I forget who made it offhand, but the title is The SpongeBob Mop Doesn't Exist. You'll probably find it if you just type that in. How did you feel about Wildernessa? She was great after her redemption. Before her redemption, she was one of the worst parts of the show. Thoughts on Cow and Chicken? Haven't gotten to that one yet. I remember it just being a Ren and Stimpy clone. The only episode I remember offhand is them going into cows' stomachs. I don't think... Treasure Map isn't even really a bad episode. Like, that was just an episode I picked on way back when, because that's what reviewers did way back when. I doubt it's going to be a masterpiece when I revisit it, but I don't think it's going to be, like, worth a review. Have you watched videos about me? I did before. One of the first things you learn as a YouTuber, though, is not to do that, because it's detrimental to your mental health. Why do you consider You Can't Stop the Girl to be a bad theme song? Oh, that would be Juniper Lee's theme song. It just doesn't sound very good. I have no doubts that Code Lyoko is a fantastic show. I just haven't seen it in forever, and I can't watch it because I've got to spend all my free time watching, I don't know, what's something else on the list? It's Clarence. I don't watch many 80s cartoons, unfortunately. What's the worst episode of Dexter's Lab Season 1 and 2? It's probably still the Christmas special. Like, my review of that episode was not very good, but I still don't think the Christmas special is very good. Which review for See Unreal will be the most difficult? Probably the Steven Universe two-parter. As you know, it's the one, like, Steven Universe Discourse is not fun. Like, everyone knows the discourse around that show, just in general, is toxic as hell. Is there anything that you learned from doing Nick O. Rama that you're trying to avoid doing for See Unreal? Yeah, like there's plenty. Like for one, have a lot more time available. Like it's been a 2-year process, and even still, I might still not have enough time, but that's okay. If I can get at least 1 month done, you know, have at least half of the shows completely reviewed and stuff, I think I'd be somewhat satisfied with that. But put more effort into it. That's one thing I'm trying to do this time around. But one thing is definitely for sure, take even the most whatever show as seriously as you possibly can. Because you never know when Camp Lazlo is going to have a massive fan base. Thoughts on Phineas and Ferb? I love Phineas and Ferb. I watch it every summer. I have not watched Yokai Watch. Yeah, this is a SpongeBob game. It's the best SpongeBob game. If you got here late, I did start this stream by playing a SpongeBob game. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. Are you looking at any behind-the-scenes stuff for See Unreal videos? I do comment on some of the stuff. It is relevant to Secret Saturdays, oddly enough. But generally, it's not brought up in reviews. But yeah, if you're just getting here, I started this stream by playing a SpongeBob game, but it was terrible and not fun and distracting. Lily Orchard fan base. Does Lily Orchard still have a fan base? Like, I'd be surprised. Thoughts on Mighty Magiswords? I don't want to see Mighty Magiswords. Does Apple and Onion look appealing to you? No, it does not look appealing to me. The art style is kind of... but beyond that, I have no idea what the show even is. Yeah, I should have tried Battle for Bikini Bottom 2 instead. What would you do if Disney gave me $1 million for a cartoon. Wonder how I got to hell. What sins I had performed to make that happen. Yeah, Out of Jimmy's Head would probably be in the bottom 5 if it counted. Thank you for the donation, Crass. I have to admit, Modern Simpsons animation is pretty great. The character layout team puts their entire heart and soul to the show. Yeah, the Modern Simpsons looks pretty good, I want to say. All right, I will change the title then if it makes you guys feel better. There you go. Thank you. Any other fan animated projects that you thought were good? There's this one about a magical girl or someone who doesn't want to be a magical girl that I saw like a couple weeks back. I don't remember the title of it, but I do know it trended, so you probably heard of it. No, I don't think that's spam. Just don't do it again, dude. Yeah, that's the one, the Dance Man. That's the one that I saw. Continue, please. Oh, yeah. Spyro 1's music is just really, really great. What happens to that Madoka review? I refunded it. I refunded the request. And that's the end of that story. Favorite Simpsons song? Probably the Weird Al parody of Homer and Marge. I have not seen Tig and Seek yet. Tig and Seek. Shows that are in the final 4, I'm probably not going to be seeing until like November. For practical purposes. I think we've already established that Henry's parents are worse than Henry. Summer Camp Island is not in the final 4. It's close though. Like I think it's in the final 8. The only one that I've done that's in the final 8 is Steven Universe Future because I did that immediately after Steven Universe. Yeah, this level is tricky. I think like when I played this as a kid, it was the last level of all of them that I 100%ed. Even after something like Treetops, it was either this level or Haunted Towers, one of those two. Glitch Text is amazing. It is my second favorite Nicktoon, only right after Avatar. And I wish it existed when I was doing Nick-O-Rama. Were you mad at Steven Universe Future? Oh, that show actually made me mad. Glitch Text never did air on the network proper, but it does have the Nicktoon branding. You should review Kung Fu Panda 4. Why? I don't even like Kung Fu Panda 3. A theatrical Powerpuff Girls movie could exist and be good. It just shouldn't have been an origin story that was explained in the show itself. What made you mad about Steven Universe Future? That's a big topic, and it's better saved for the full review. I loved Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2, but 3 was just nothing. It's a nothing of a movie. I wouldn't be surprised. Horrid Henry is a very popular British franchise. Why did the Loud House get worse? All of the characters started acting like garbage. Like, one episode had Lenny trying to sabotage her sister's college application for stupid reasons that I don't even remember. And the characters were constantly on that level for all of it. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The plots in Modern Loud House have become really fantastical. I don't exactly consider that a problem because that could work, that could be interesting. Although it does get further away from the overall premise of the show. But, you know, I'm the guy who liked Butterfly Effect when no one else did. Yeah, I remember the original Puss in Boots because Humpty Dumpty's design will haunt my nightmares forever. Thank you for the donation. I feel like Steven Universe, the movie, was more of a celebration of a series that ended not too long ago. I thought the movie was okay. Like, it's just kind of there for me. Yeah, Loud House started having episodes that were more about, ghosts and magic and stuff like that. Thoughts on the cartoon Recess? Recess is a classic. Thank you for the donation. One of the Casa Grande's writers has also worked on both Dora the Explorer and Diego Go in the past. That is interesting to know. Top 5 overhated cartoons. Right now it's looking to be Foster's. Spinell's pretty cool. I wish she appeared more in Future. She doesn't appear until, like, the end. Show with the best animation, but the worst writing. I'd have to think about that. Blue's personality changes on an episode-to-episode basis, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, some episodes, he actually genuinely cares about Mac and his friends. He'll still do selfish, stupid things, but, like, episodes like the deodorant one shows that he does care. In the, cookie dough episode, he tries to raise money to fix the roof. It's still for selfish purposes, but he will do that. In other episodes, he's just completely selfish and unapologetic. Looking forward to seeing real. Is Teen Titans Go still on the air? Yes, actually, believe it or not. They are still making and airing new episodes of Teen Titans Go. Honestly, if I knew about a particular episode, I probably would have reviewed it this month. Mac and Blue sometimes give Carl and Cartman... interesting. Thoughts on how Warner Brothers handles their IPs? They seem to be doing quite bad with that right now, considering all of the shuffling that's been going on with the Looney Tunes. Who is still watching Teen Titans Go? I don't know. I don't think even kids are watching Teen Titans Go these days. Cartoon Network does have a few shows going on right now. I know that Jellystone ended recently. Is Teen Titans Go hated because it aired so much? That's one of the reasons. It's hated because it's based on a franchise that distinctly wasn't that and had a bad ending that pissed the fans off to begin with. Also, Teen Titans as a show did antagonize its haters, like, directly. There are episodes directly calling out the people who don't like it. Yeah, there are probably other... I know there are other calling out the critics episodes of Teen Titans Go that I didn't even touch on. Probably some that I don't even know about. Worst Nicktoon besides Sanjay and Craig? That's clearly Bunsen is a Beast. Might give that an episode review coming up if I need to do smaller content to keep things going while I'm doing the Seeing Real thing. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, at the start, I think generally people who weren't initially outraged thought that Teen Titans Go was okay. You know, nothing fantastic and phenomenal. Yeah, that's never a good argument. The show isn't made for you. That might be a video essay in and of itself. Thank you for the donation. Are you doing shows from the European branch of CN Studios, but not ones from the Latin American branch of CN Studios? I thought I was... I went through a list, and I do think there are some from the Latin American branch of CN Studios. I know that Victor and Valentino is a Mexican show, and I am doing that one. Oh, Victor is American? Huh. Do you hate Ben 10 2017? I'm expecting to, but I haven't seen it yet. What is the best episode of Foster's Home first season? The YouTube episode that happened before YouTube even existed. Worldwide Wabbits. That episode was a trip, I tell you what. And that episode, Blue uploads a video of Mr. Harriman being embarrassing up online and stuff. Except this episode existed in 2004 and YouTube didn't exist back then, so it was weird, but they still predicted shit, like people making parody edits. Are there any good episodes of Season 1 Gumball? A couple ones that are okay, like the first episode is alright. Best episode of SpongeBob Season 1's probably Pizza Delivery. Like I said in the update video that I made earlier, I'm not watching the pilots. I've seen a couple of them, but generally they don't really factor in. Most of the pilots are just episode 1s with cruder animation and storytelling. Like, the Steven Universe pilot is really weird considering how different the gems' designs are. I mean, you're free to say that those episodes are overrated. Yeah, Foster's does have other bad episodes. In fact, Bendy's sister episode is also pretty bad. Where there's a wilt, there's a way. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fan of cheese, and I'm not a fan of goo. I don't remember which Danny Phantom episodes were in each season. Yeah, you hear birds, windows open, it's hot, it's like near 80 degrees, and it's still only April. It's gonna be a very hot summer this year. Why do you hate cheese? Because he's annoying? Why was the Wilt episode bad? It's just an episode that's picking on Wilt. Yeah. I still have to get to the Goo episode, or the first Goo episode. That's season 3, I think. So we'll see if it holds up, but I remember not liking Goo at all. Who is Cheese? Cheese is a character on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends that was so beloved at the time that he actually became the network's mascot for a time. Him and Fred Burger. And immediately afterwards, people started hating both of those characters. This was known as the Yes era of Cartoon Network because that one word was Fred Burger's catchphrase. Which Simpsons episodes do you consider good? A lot of them. Cheddar cheese is my favorite cheese, as basic as that is. I mean, I remember Fred Burger working in the show a lot better than Cheese, but outside the show, using him as a mascot is a weird idea. Which show is worse, Robot Jones or I Am Weasel? Robot Jones. Partying is such a sweet soiree is actually a fantastic episode. It was a great start to season 1, or season 2. Thoughts on mozzarella? Mozzarella is pretty cool. It's the pizza cheese. Oh yeah, I really gotta get to Billy and Mandy sometime soon. It's on the list. I'm just kind of saving that one for October. I have never actually seen the ending of Friendship is Magic. I'm waiting to marathon that whole show in one go. And that'll be the first time I ever see the ending. It's probably going to be, you know, an every episode review type video. But that's not this year because CN Real has taken all my time. have you seen any good modern episodes that tackle serious episodes with tact? Are we talking in general? Thoughts on Kids Next Door? Kids Next Door I like as a show. But its issues largely come out from the time it came out. Like, you have to understand, Kids Next Door was, like, one of the first Western cartoons that tried to have an ongoing plot with, like, twists and turns and continuity. And as such, being the first, it kinda hasn't aged the best in that regard. It gets really convoluted at points, and there are plot threads that don't go anywhere. What Cartoon Network show do you think is the least appealing on the 2010s? That's still Problem Solvers. Yeah. Like, I mean, it kind of works with the premise with Kids Next Door because, you know, it kind of feels like a little kid telling you a story, but that's a very double-edged sword as it goes back and forth on what actually happens. There we go. Yeah, Lizzie is not a very good character. I don't have as much problem with her as some of her competition. We're already off of the Panini discussion, but, like, you know, out of the video, I don't like Panini as a character. Favorite episode of Infinity Train? That would be a spoiler. It's in season 3. Yeah, Camp Spankulot is definitely one of the aspects of the show that has aged very poorly. Then again, it was probably creepy at the time too, but we were kids and we didn't know. Adult Swim cartoons are not on my docket. Oh yeah, the finale of Kids Next Door is fantastic. Do you think that 2025 Snow White is a turning point for Disney? I mean, a lot of people are blaming it for them canceling other remakes, so maybe. But I don't know if that's just fan speculation. Which K&D villain do you personally like? That's a tough one. Oh yeah, Agent Zero. I really do like that movie too. Hello. Rain is okay sometimes. Let's see. Favorite level in this game? Probably Wizard's Peak. Everyone loves that level because it has the theme song to the Amanda Show for some reason. Did you see the ad where Disney advertised Snow White as the most talked about movie per year? No, that's not even true. People are talking about the Minecraft movie way more than Snow White. I have not seen Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, but it is on the list of shows I'm going to be checking out after this whole See and Real thing is done. Angry Boss is really cool. Favorite level in Gex 2 and 3. Either one for each or combined. I have to think about that. Maybe we'll play the Gex games next time. People like Gex. My favorite level in all those games combined, though, is the anime channel level because of the music. I know you don't want to review it, but I think Shrek deserves his placement in the Library of Congress. Oh, absolutely. It is one of the most influential animated films of all time. Like, I say that completely without exaggeration or anything like that. In terms of CGI animated films, the most influential is Toy Story, the second most influential is Shrek. Shrek is literally a cultural artifact. As strange and mimetic as that sounds, it is the truth. Isn't Toy Story in the Library of Congress? Because, like, it'd be weird if it wasn't, especially before Shrek. Indeed. Because, like, Toy Story is, like, the second most important animated film ever made. Like, immediately after Snow White. Yeah, I like, even without looking it up, I'm pretty sure that Toy Story is in the Library of Congress. Really? Yeah, you guys are gonna have to write a petition or something. I don't think they put shows in the Library of Congress. Okay, I'm getting conflicting information. Some people are saying it is, some people are saying it isn't. I'm going to assume it is because it'd be crazy if it isn't. Lion King also makes sense, although Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid would probably be going in there before it. Yeah, that is definitely a hot take. Roger Rabbit, yes, I would say that counts. Favorite Craig of the Creek episode? The second, the last episode before the finale. I forget what it's called off the top of my head. But the penultimate episode is, it's amazing. What do you think Spyro the Dragon's favorite cartoon is? Dragon Tales, obviously. My favorite Disney straight-to-DVD sequel is The Lion King... Actually, no, not The Lion King 2. Aladdin 3. Lion King 2 gets second place. And that's largely because of the music. And here's a hot take for you. The Lion King 2 has a better soundtrack than The Lion King 1. I don't know if I've said that on record before, but I'm saying that now. Aladdin 4, Jafar may need glasses it was really relatable, actually. By the way, Ben 10, Alien Force, and all... they're not... They each count separately because they have, like, different art styles, they're different directions, and all that kind of stuff. Your favorite Simpsons Season 9 episode? Forget which ones are Season 9 off the top of my head. How long have you been on? Started a little bit before 7, so I want to say an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. I remember liking Drake and Josh, although going back to Nickelodeon sitcoms is kind of awkward in the modern era. You know? Like, it'd kind of be hard to watch some of them without feeling uncomfortable in some of the areas. I have not seen that baseball show. Do you think the Treasure Planet should get a sequel? It does have a sequel, if you could believe it or not. There's actually a video game based on the movie that is a direct sequel to Treasure Planet. It's a real-time strategy game, and you can buy it on Steam if you don't believe me. I don't know its subtitle, but it does exist. The other Treasure Planet video games are like straight adaptations of the film, but the real-time strategy game on PC is a direct sequel. Thoughts on Steven Universe potentially coming back? I wouldn't be opposed to that. I just hope they learn from their mistakes. Oh yeah, The Incredibles also had a video game sequel. Did you know that Big Rigs will eventually be available on Steam? I definitely heard about that, but I think there's some confusion about who actually owns it, so there's some controversy in the background. I mean, Big Rigs has been abandonware for who knows how long. Yeah, marking it as psychological horror makes it seem like it's a joke. But who knows, they put Bubsy on Steam. Top 10 CN shows for now. Samurai Jack is still going to be in there. There's Craig of the Creek. There is Infinity Train. Let's see. I'd have to think about it. Besides those three. What is your 6th least favorite Cartoon Network show? I can't do math in my head like that, sir. Twisted Wonderland is getting an anime on Disney+. I'm not too sure what that is. I already said that I'm not doing an episode for Class of 3000 or Courage. What I'm going to do is give their videos a new thumbnail and put it in the playlist when their continuity comes up. Yeah. Super Bowl halftime show. I don't watch the sports. I have not gotten to Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi. I'm pretty sure that I have seen Shea Frillis's Why Chowder is a Comedy Gold show. I've probably seen it at some point, but it was a long, long time ago. Have you seen Arcane? No, I have not. Like, this year, like, there's plenty of shows that I want and should be seeing, but this year, it's all about those Cartoon Network shows. Did you run off the ledge on purpose? Kinda, sorta. Okay, so what most people think you're supposed to do here is use this to go, but it's kind of touchy and it's easy to bonk into the wall. But you can make the jump without supercharge here, which trivializes any of the challenge here. And this is the way I've, like, always done it. Unfortunately, I hear so many shows ending on a cliffhanger, and it's just not... It just gets kind of... I don't know the word for it. No, the Reignited trilogy did not patch that out. You can still do it in Reignited. Where does spiders go? Okay, that was bizarre. I don't know how that happened. I'm just hearing too many stories of shows that get ended on a cliffhanger. If you want some solace, the opposite of that happening is far, far worse. Like, going through Seeing Real, there are a couple of shows that tried to resolve literally everything because they knew they were being canceled. Victor and Valentino is one of them, and Secret Saturdays is another one. And honestly, both of them ended so poorly that I kind of wished that things ended up unresolved in the end. Regular show I still haven't gotten to. I've seen plenty of the show myself, but I'm going to reserve giving my full opinions until I've seen the show fully. I mean, sometimes the shows can pull it off, but it's a very rare occasion. And instead, you just get this giant cluster of an episode that is not very well focused. Is there a book series that you would want as a cartoon series? Well, there is this series of books written by this guy called Louis Sacker, called Wayside Stories from Sideways School, or Sideways Stories from Wayside School. It's about this quirky class with very weird kids, and it looks like it would be a very funny and charming cartoon. It's a shame that they never made one. It's called a joke with ironic. They did make a cartoon, and it was terrible, and I reviewed it, and if you haven't seen my review, you should watch it. How bad is The Secret Saturdays? I'm giving that one a 1 star out of 5. I have not seen Elliot from Earth yet. It's the last show that I have. It's the last show chronologically, so it's going to be the last one I review. Maybe you can do Wayside. I don't think I have the clout to do that. And besides, I don't think I have... I think Nickelodeon might, or Teletoon, or whoever might still have the rights. Secret Saturdays, I wouldn't be surprised ends up in the bottom 10. Like, that's the kind of show that I can rant on if you want to know how I feel about it overall. Oh, that's cool. You know, there's a fourth Wayside book out now that came out in 2020. That was pretty cool. Why no SpongeBob? I played a SpongeBob game and it was the worst experience in my life. Besides Louis Sacker's books, what would you like to see as a cartoon? Honestly, maybe the Goosebumps books could work pretty well. I mean, there's plenty of shows that have had adaptations already that have had mixed results. Like, pretty much anything fantasy and magical would work really well in animation. Like, I remember hearing that Disney originally was going to make a Harry Potter animated film, but they wanted to put all 7 years in one film, and that would have been a bloated train wreck. So the deal fell through. I can say that the Fourth Wayside book is pretty good. What makes Mixel's bottom 5? It's literally just YouTube brain rot. Like, go on YouTube Kids. That's exactly what you'll see, equivalent to the quality of Mixel's. What video game series would you want to see as a cartoon series? Spyro the Dragon. Spyro the Dragon should have been in a lot more multimedia than it actually was. Honestly, Crash Bandicoot as well. Tomb Raider got the movie. And so did Resident Evil, but the more cartoony stuff didn't get anything. Have you heard of Blasto? Yeah. I've also heard that it's, like, insanely difficult. Like, people often point to it as one of the hardest PlayStation 1 games. Thank you for the donation. What is your favorite train wreck adaptation? Probably the Never-Ending Story movie. Like, people hold that up as an 80s classic film. It's not. It literally only adapts half of the book, which is completely ridiculous. Oddworld could definitely work as an adaptation. I don't know much about Sly Cooper, unfortunately, besides it's a stealth game. What makes Robotomy bottom 5? I can think of literally no positive qualities that it has. Like, I literally cannot say a good thing about the show. If you love the movie, and you don't want to keep loving the movie, read the book. The book, the Neverending Story book, is probably my favorite book of all time. Because, like, in the book, Bastion goes fucking insane. I mean, if you have problems like, I would recommend audiobooks if you have trouble paying attention to a full book. At that level, it's kind of listening to a podcast. Never-Ending Story could absolutely work in animation. A lot better than in live action, I can tell you that. Yes, it actually does have a cartoon, and I've been planning on reviewing that one for years because that one is actually terrible, unfortunately. Oop. I didn't miss much, just talking about adaptations. The best animation adaptation ever in all of history, it's gotta be Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. That's the best one. No contest. I am currently watching Foster's. Ow. Any opinion on Oblivion Remastered? I'd be playing that right now if it wasn't so expensive. I am not the kind of guy who is able to drop like $50 on a game. I'll have to wait for that one to go on sale. Yeah, that's basically the idea of the book. Yeah. Honestly, Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century, which, yes, is a real thing, I don't know if it's a good cartoon or a bad cartoon. I just know it exists because it's Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. Have I been playing for almost 2 hours? I must have lost track of time. I'm glad that the Oblivion Remastered actually exists, though, because finally people are saying, oh, wow, these people were right. Skyrim is really watered down compared to the previous Elder Scrolls games. Like, people are starting to learn why so many Elder Scrolls fans actually hated Skyrim. Skyrim, like, dominated the planet for a time and was, like, the most popular RPG ever made. But, like, I could never get into it because the beginning was so boring. Like, and even then, like... Like, I'm apparently learning things that I didn't even know weren't in the game. Like, people are saying that you can't attack while swimming in Skyrim. Like, you can't use your sword while swimming in Skyrim. I don't even know if that's true. But that's what I'm hearing on the forums. Yes, Starbound is basically Terraria, just in outer space. With more of a story. I have never played Arena, but I don't think Arena holds up. Wait, you can't attack in the water in Oblivion either. I know for a fact you can do that in Morrowind. I only know how to do the swimming in the air glitch in Spyro 2. Is there a movie you wish got a novelization book? That'd be... I don't know. The Egg Thieves are better in Spyro 3 because they tend to have better track designs and layout. You're not chasing them over pools of water where it's easy to fall in. Oh yeah, I know the difficulty of Rayman 1. Do you think that regular show has a bad theme song? I don't think it has much of a theme song at all. No, the swimming in air glitch didn't break, Enter the Dragonfly. You can't break what's already broken. And Enter the Dragonfly is the most broken video game that I've ever played. And I've played Rascal. What's worse, Korra or Future? Steven Universe Future. Korra gets better halfway through. Yeah, I played Rascal and I beat it like twice on my gameplay channel. Do you like Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab? Usually. Ow. I hate this boss because the hit detection is just so wonky. Yes, I did watch every episode of Time Squad. The worst episode of classic Dexter's Lab. The episode I keep going with is the Christmas episode. But if you want a more creative answer, it's probably the Shoe Gnomes episode. The Shoe Gnomes episode was, quite frankly, uncomfortable. Yes, this Spyro 1 and Reignited is better. It's the other two games that I think suffered a bit of a downgrade in the remake. Like, there's a reason that I'm not playing the Reignited versions of these games. Spyro 2 Reignited actually gave me a game-breaking bug. Stupid. Worst episodes of the last two seasons of Dexter's Lab. Chicken Scratch, without a doubt. Come on, buddy. Come on. There we go. And I thought... Boop. I have watched some of Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Alright. Go to the Beastmaker's world. Yeah, the episodes only focusing on Dexter's Lab were pretty bad. Getting confused. Okay. Right on schedule. Do you think Peter Griffin... Could I beat Peter Griffin in a fight? No. Have you seen the guy fight the chicken? The guy can actually take and throw a punch. A lot more than I can. Do you like Duchess? Not really. Terrace Village. Let's go. Doop. Yeah, I hate that room in Misty Bog too. Don't worry, we won't be going there tonight. What is your favorite Time Squad episode? One of the ones that I actually liked is the episode where Larry gets a downgrade and tortures Tud Russell with burgers. Worst episode of Steven Universe, not Future, is Steven's birthday. We could take a break, even though the world could be destroyed at any minute, because we gotta have a birthday! Where would you rank Omni-Man amongst other bad animation parents? I am not familiar with Invincible, unfortunately. Yes, I do know that Control Alt Delete has a second season. Do you like Rigby from regular show? Sometimes. Best child character you have seen? Almost any of them from Craig of the Creek. If there's a place to learn how to write them, Craig of the Creek is the place. What's your favorite episode of Chowder? That's a good question. Best episode of Chowder. Most of season 1 is pretty damn good. Let's see. If you can go into a cartoon and live there, which shows would it be? Probably Pokemon. Pokemon's a cool place to live. Are you going to review What a Cartoon? No, because it's a variety show. It doesn't really fit this format. What's a show you've wanted to like more than you actually did? Secret Saturdays is a show that should be way better than it actually is. I would go to the Hoenn region because I like tropical environments. I mean, I did like Korra at the end. I didn't like the first 2 seasons. But after that, like, after the beginnings, I think it was called, the show really does pick up. Thoughts on Clarence? I have not gotten to Clarence yet. So we go down here. We get the treasure. Yes, I do have a favorite Infinity Train episode. It's anyone with Hazel. Hazel is the best character. I have not marathoned through Powerpuff Girls 2016 yet. That maneuver is stupidly annoying. Get to fly! Who's the second best Infinity Train character? Oh, there's so many. Probably MT, though. What's the second ugliest cartoon? Seasons 3 and 4 of Dexter's Lab. Fly, fly. Fly. Ah. There we go. Try again, no. The ugliness in Secret Mountain Fort Awesome works for what it's trying to do. Like, that's the style that it's going for. That does not apply at all to Dexter's Lab Season 3 and 4. Atticus is pretty cool. Would you play a Cartoon Network versus Nick fighting game? That'd be pretty interesting. I'm not really one for fighting games, though. What makes the animation in Seasons 3 and 4 of Dexter's Lab so bad? Bad art direction, to put it as simply as I can. There we go. Yes, Jeepers Creepers, Where is Peepers is from Seasons 3 and 4. I think Season 3 specifically. Atticus and 1-1. All the characters in that show are just fantastic. I dare you to watch Little Ellen Season 2. Might have to at some point, won't I? What are your thoughts on the episode where Dexter becomes a were-clown? I remember that one not being very good either. Do you like glitch text more than Hey Arnold? Yes, I do. Yeah, I know that Chris Savino did the art style for Dexter's Lab Seasons 3 and 4. Well then, how does Fire Lord Ozai compare to other bad parents in animation? He's pretty bad as a father, I want to say, yeah. Do you think Dexter should be rebooted? Maybe. Hello. What's a cartoon you didn't expect to like but were surprised by? Life and Times of Juniper Lee. I'm pretty sure Fire Lord Ozai did a bunch of shit. Yes, I do like Fairly Otter. What episode does Juniper Lee get good? I think it's Adventures in Babysitting. I don't remember the exact title. But it was the origin story episode. That's when it gets really good. Thought we could get through this without one, but there's always one. Always one. What's your opinion? Honestly, it's been so long since I played the Reignited trilogy, I don't remember. The shows are extremely similar. Calling them a ripoff, calling one a ripoff of the other is inaccurate though, because they came out so close at the same time. It's not possible for one to have ripped off another. I do not play fighting games, unfortunately. Not usually. I'm pretty positive towards Ed, Edd n Eddy. I don't find it a perfect show, but I do give it a pretty positive review, I think. I did play Tekken 3 quite a lot as a kid, but fighting games you don't exactly have a lot of fun with if you play them on their own, on your own. My favorite video game console besides the SNES and PS1 is probably the Switch, maybe the 3DS. Lisa Sparks is not in my CN project. I have no idea how Pie Guy Rules is doing. We're not in communication. PS2 probably would be in my favorites if I've ever actually played the console. Gotta go. Ah. This part here requires a little bit of focus. And there we go. That's the hardest part of the game. Thoughts on them changing the guns for this level in the remake? I hate that. It's just stupid, pointless censorship. Especially, it's more pointless since there are guns in other parts of the trilogy. Like, I'm pretty sure there's still guns in Scorched. I will definitely be talking about the fourth wall breaks in the chowder videos. What's good? Everything's good. In my recent update video, I told you guys all the shows that I would be doing. But look at this. We're actually about to beat this game for the first time ever on stream on this channel. I've done this before on the gameplay channel, but, like... Come back here, you. Come back here. I'm gonna lose the speed run, dude. Come on. Yes, this will be historic. We're actually going to play Spyro 1 to completion. I just had to skip a bunch of levels to do it. But, you know, that's how it goes. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, Nasty Nork is pretty terrible as a boss fight. It's not even a fight, he just runs from you. This part does require a little bit of focus, so... Music is great, though. Come on. Yeah. I did it! I did it! It took 2 hours and 7 minutes.